Bend that one over up there. Along. Yeah, I know what.
That's what that is right there.
Nothing. I don't have any feet that small. I don't
Hey Dave.
Yeah.
In my box up there, there's that red Milwaukee box that's got all kinds of bits in it. You can check that.
All on there.
Not much of it, but a little bit. Of course, that's pretty small.
Bigger.
And with this one.
The caulking on the bottom is just on the face, barely in by.
Oh, I know. I remember I argued with him and I said, you're not
Do I have another cap taped in on this too? What do you think to caulk it?
My daughter teaches Newtown. That's what it is. And last year they talked about dropping. Oh, I don't know numbers. Small than they made.
You know what? Guess I gotta release it from the J channel. Hopefully they didn't screw up.
That seems to be pretty loose.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it. I don't know if it's caulking that's locked it in or if it's screwed.
Oh, that's sounds like it might be a cap.
Hit him between the eyes. You gotta do it. Historical Society last year, Bobby Brown,
Caulking right there, this whole thing. Jeff, your knife is effed up a little bit. It's always been that way. I just couldn't, blade come out, I couldn't get it back.
everything's overpriced.
I'd let you figure it out. So did you find a bit?
I might have.
I got a whole desk drawer of them.
Well, I haven't hit any screws, so I guess it's just the pocket that's holding this. That sounds good.
They did that housing development with Town Hall, and I was chairman of the council.
Yeah.
We get to a point
Yeah,
where
we
we're
can
gonna
house it.
cut the rest of the bottom of this.
Chuck Buckland started it.
You know what? I think it is screwed, Jeff.
Yeah, it is. I just felt one over here.
Okay, and they're deep. They're kind of probably going up at an angle of catching the backside of this.
So let's just take this off on the
We're gonna
bottom.
take this on the lap. What do you got for screws up under there?
Sorry about that.
Phillips.
Huh?
Phillips. Yeah.
I remember back when we talked about
You get on.
that board out if you can come right straight up with a face. If it's not screwed at all.
What's that? Can we pull this right up?
Yeah, pull the whole J channel. Oh, it won't come out on this end though. the J channel comes with the board.
Yeah, but you got a screw right here into this. Yeah. You know, behind there.
Good was it?
I thought, well, I sent him an email, and I thought he was
And therein lies the problem. The paper comes up on the outside and doesn't even lap under the flanges.
Yeah, push it back in a minute.
Okay.
Flat fire.
It's not looking like
Got
a
a
green
one of
button.
those knives too.
What's that? Oh, Jesus, didn't that hurt?
Needle right on the screw.
Yeah.
Putty knife.
Come on, yeah.
Putty knife into here.
Yeah.
See if we can get in there. Okay, now let's roll this out. Now can you work that in the crack? Nice and easy. So we're breaking it. Not breaking it or anything. Pull this right out of the way.
Yeah, as long as I can get up there high enough. They hold pretty, the screws hold very
I was
well.
gonna say, I think they're stainless steel screws, even though they're rusted off. 'Cause I tried to,
So, the thing to do is you gotta get the rest of this thing off. Yeah. So I need to cut this.
Alright, can we get the zips off?
Yep. Let's cut the zips off. We'll have a butt cut and we'll seal it up
Now
after.
that's a cement board stuff, isn't it?
I don't know if it's cement. I think it's just wood and glue, isn't it? Ken, is that siding wood and glue basically?
Yeah, pretty much. It's chip glue.
Let me go get a zip for them. Actually, we got one right down on the ground down there.
There's one right down in the bucket.
poor George, you couldn't sit back to state patrol and numbers. Yeah. Well, he can unbox that up there.
Yeah, just second it up.
Come on, George.
Eric, you need pry bar?
Doesn't fall right out of there.
Well, it's gotta come, it's got that little channel, you gotta pop it down off that channel. There you go.
Just
Up.
bring this up. No, but you do.
Dave,
Yeah.
pass me a hammer out of that tray, please. the bottom now.
All right.
There you go.
Okay, great. You say label that your center joint and label this east end. Okay. All right, so now you got this. Up screws. Where are the screws here? There's one, two. I got two screws to here in this channel, this siding. You got any screws down your end? I don't see any. No, these ones. Holding the siding on.
I don't see any.
There's one rusty one here and one here. And that's all there is.
That's it.
That's amazing. Okay.
Okay, can you get that screw right there?
Where we got one?
Right.
Head down, you can see it. Keep your head down, you can get that bar in the way. Put that stable there.
They're so far in there, I can't get this one over here.
Okay, is there any more that way?
I don't see any.
I think Jeff's got the last one. Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah, that one's broken off.
Okay, suppose there's one into the side casing?
No.
Okay, so then pull that off.
Alright, this should pop out now. As soon as I get that screw there.
Okay, this piece should go. There we
Hang
go.
on.
And this one's ready to fall out. And then the one by fall out behind there.
The one by should come out over first.
Alright, let's take
There
the
you
one
go.
by out. Let's skate that all the way right onto the roof. Guide this into it down there. Take that one there. You got it. Oh, it's aluminum.
Got it? Great. Do the same thing with this?
Sure.
I'll label it.
Just lay it right in that.
There's probably a screw.
Let me just label it real quick. Is that east over there?
East over the right, yeah. Another broken one. Good. That's out. Okay. And David here passing another one.
There you go, right there. What's wrong with that picture? Water comes down, water gets in on top. Anywhere it gets on top of those, where it blows in on the top of the casing, right there, it's home. It's home right here. Yep. Especially because the casing was not caulked. The casing wasn't caulked here, to the bottom of the window.
Can you pull that out again real quick? Just flip that end out again. Yeah, okay, thanks.
So that is a place water can get in.
Now they ditched it, which is nice.
Can I hand these
It's
to
in
you?
place, which is nice. This should have been up under. Either under the flange at the very least, or under the bitch thing, so this thing is the whole way. And here, there's no picture whatsoever.
Thank you.
Looks like a screw head right here showing. Part of the problem right there. All right. They did lap this right. I'll give them that. What we got here is we're outside here, we're out by here,
You could do them on there,
but this is coming over this like it's supposed to.
Right.
I'll get, as I say, I'll give them that one. Okay, so the paper is wrong all the way across under the window. I think, let's see now, if we take this piece, where's the joint in this piece?
Out there, the other side of the ladder, got one.
Probably look at this one out. Like to move around these guys. You're gonna joint there. Then this one, I can't get at that joint. It might slide out depending on how much screws they put in it.
Lock in, doesn't it? It just sits in
It
that
sits
groove.
on top of it.
Yeah.
It'd actually be per the manufacturer's recommendation. It's gotta be at least 16 on center, I would.
What is it?
Thing.
Well, this one was screwed, what, once every 4 feet?
Yeah, I don't think
This
that
one
needs
we're
it.
holding now has got one screw in it.
Yeah.
And it's just a drywall screw into that.
Into the sheet.
It looks like it's just into
It was
that
only
inch.
in like a quarter inch.
Now that one's gonna, we got it cocked into there.
Oh, you got a crack right there.
So I got a problem. I'm gonna have to lift this up. It's supposed to just slide right up, right?
It's got some kind of silicone cock here. Too many silicone bejesus. And in fact, the next one's got silicone on it too.
Okay, take the knife to it. I wanna get the board off.
I gotta switch blades here and get this short.
Right there. Hey, those are dust lines right there. That the water's gone in and carried them down. So you can see that dripping. That's dripping action right there. Right there and right there. So that means water's gotten in behind there. To that point and that point. So water has gone in behind you. If these weren't caulked, the bottom case wasn't
Right,
caulked.
this, there's the 1x4 here, Chuck, full 1 inch. Wonder board.
Did it go all the way
One
across?
piece. Yes, and it was not caulked to the window. It was caulked below to the J channel that we pulled out here. And then this is what you got. You got
So are we assuming the Vicor is probably stopped somewheres and they've got paper up over it?
Well, we're gonna find out. We're gonna pull this, see if we can go a little further on these guys. Can somebody caulk the bottom of these? Stop the water from coming out.
Soaking wet. So
Interesting. Oh, good. I'm glad we're taking that class.
done its
Last time I saw
job.
you was
It's
up
sealed
here
in
at
the
the
water.
school
Held the
childbirth
water
classes.
in pretty well, huh?
That was a long time ago.
Yeah,
I guess so.
your childbirth
Well,
classes
this
when
one's-
Ann was pregnant with Ben.
How old is he?
He's 28 now.
Third one.
That would have been your third one then? You were still going to childbirth class
Okay,
then?
this one
guess
ready
so.
to go, Dave?
Yeah.
Michael, let's stop a minute and take
Michael
this
just
one off.
turned 30 and Matt
Yeah.
will be 32 in October.
So it was
So
probably,
theoretically,
Mark
it
just
just
turned
lifts
28.
off.
so Ben
And
was
I'm
born
in behind this
April
one,
of
so I have to go
86,
straight
so
up
it
with
was
this.
in the winter, January, February, 86, something like that up here. You and Martha, I think. Yeah. That was a long time ago.
That's definitely silicone.
It's like a hard version of it.
Maybe it's Lexan. Of those kind of
You do it
things.
once more.
That is-
You did?
Got one just
You know, I went with two, boy and a girl, yeah. Yeah, the girl's 26 and she's getting married September 6th. Yeah. Her man's Merchant Marine.
Now,
Pull you
hopefully
away.
that'll slide toward us.
Yeah.
Ready? Wait, you got the budding
Caught
ready?
on the end there. Good job.
Okay, good.
Now
Now go.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Her man Alex is
That
he's,
will run
chief
my
mate
way?
on it.
Yeah. Let me label it.
Yeah.
Tug, they push it back, it holds 4.5 million gallons.
Pretty self-evident.
Well, they push it from the refineries in Southern California up here.
Okay. So,
That's it.
thank you.
Brought it all from the
This
northwest
causes
down to
Yeah.
the refineries. And
Yeah.
then
I haven't gotten to the bottom one yet.
Well, see, they don't want you to
Pulled
go
out
all
here
the way
with
down
what you
there.
said.
See, so
Yes,
they
it
go
was
up there
damp.
and they'll get,
You can look.
they'll
Look
get
at that.
crude
That's
on
water
one
right
end
there.
and,
wet this is, back.
refined on the other.
The back of it's wet.
That's what Mark,
Well,
middle
it's molded.
engineer
nicely.
goes up and
Okay, so,
Got the next one.
all right, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
San Francisco or San Diego.
Yeah, Chris Eaton's boys doing it too. Yeah.
here's the joint. Ken, how far, you got a tape on you?
I don't.
Okay. Okay. So it looks like this is leaking. We're getting water through here someplace, or maybe right here too. In fact, it's right, this is what makes the water down the back of that.
Right at the.
Okay, I want to see if we can get this one next. And it looks like we got a short piece, and then we got another piece, and this one, I don't know if we're going to be able to get it up.
Yeah, I got one screw right here. And there's probably one on the joint. If we're lucky, they only screwed it like every 4
The
feet.
first board we took off, first fiber had one screw in it. It was what, 10, 11 feet long. Well,
You want to cut it?
can I can get you a square if you want to work it that way.
Yeah, I probably ought to square it, make it pretty. Any of your kids pick up carpentry?
Nope.
Did you encourage them not to, or they just decide they didn't want it?
I always encourage them to do something different.
Huh?
I always encourage them to do something
Yeah.
different as they go. I mean, Michael would take time, you know, do the work release program from the high school here just because he didn't want to be in classes. Just easy.
Thanking you.
I still got one in.
That is wet.
Where was the worst wet?
Right here, right where I cut it, soaking. And this one, the paper's wet. Paper right here is soaking wet.
Okay. And then was it black over under the between the next window, right by your left hand?
Between the win-
No. Go
Where?
6 or 8 inches. I want to know where the black is.
The black is right,
Right on the cut.
yeah,
And there's another patch of black.
And there's
yeah,
another
right
one.
over here, right there. Right here.
Okay.
That's soaking
So-
wet right there. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting is so far the black has not really lined up with the mullions in the window.
Oh, but it lines up right where there was a crack underneath here.
Is there a drip hole there on the windows that comes out right there?
Yeah, there's one right there. Drip hole there. But these casings, when these casings went up, there was a big 8-inch gap between the top of the casing and the bottom of the window right here.
There's no groove in the bottom of that window to.
No. Yeah,
Screw heads just fall out.
but when you use 30-pound felt and use hammer, staple hammer, that's what happens right there.
Especially on a soft surface.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Well, you
like
say
going
this
into
is
metal studs
a
or something. Get that
a foam board.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it's 1 inch, some kind of.
almost sheetrock out. You get in.
It's only a matter of time for all that, because that's all there is in for screws right there.
This doesn't tell me exact moisture, but it gives me some ideas. And it's like, so it's like real wet right there.
Yeah.
Not so wet there. It's drier there. This is where that was the black stain again.
Yeah.
That's not so bad. That's not so bad. Wet there. Interesting to see if there was a stain there. But then this is under a window again. This is pretty dry up here. So, by that, an initial assumption might be this is dry, but this is wet. So, the water's not coming down here. The water's coming here. And getting this wet and getting this wet. And if that's true, then it's got something to do with the 1x4 that was here and the water going in on top of it.
Oh, I mean, right here. You can see right there.
Part of it right there. How we doing on the next clapboard?
I need one of those the square head screw.
Square head bit?
Square head bit. Please.
think what I want to do is go down beyond these guys, see what we got down here, just to look at it, and then we'll decide what to do about the paper. It might be good to take some of the paper at some point here, just to.
Give us a corner back and see how far that white core actually goes down.
Yeah, you can do that. Not very far. So,
So many waters are getting in, running down, and staying right behind the paper.
yeah, and then it's on the face of the yellow board, and wherever there's a joint, there's a horizontal joint, it might come down and then go in and. Yeah.
Be interesting to see what they got above that frame too.
Yeah. Inside, we had water staining on this window, on the head of this window.
Yep.
So,
Eric, can you hand that back to Jeff, please?
yes, sir. All screws out of this one?
All screws appear to be out of it.
Are you out of it?
Able to go.
Yeah. Try going up.
Yep.
A little more.
It's
Good.
pretty obvious where they go back. These might be
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Back to you. Okay, let's roll this one and look at the back of it. Where you go? See? Here we are. Under the window again, same spot, right?
I'll put it where it
Go
came out.
back where it came out. Keep it rolling like that. Yep. So under this window right here, wet.
Yeah.
And that window right there, wet. Yep.
Good your rusty nails right down
Yeah.
below that too.
Yes, and they're going to point out there's nails there and here.
They didn't flash over the vent to that vent.
Okay, take that out of here. Got it?
Yeah.
Right, so here I got paper down behind the J channel.
Thanks a lot.
Another error. On the sides, the paper's behind the J channel. So they put the paper on, set this in place, called it good.
Well, they did that with the windows too. Put the Vicor around the windows, slapped them in, then papered it.
Yep.
Yep. If that paper was under that bottom flange, you probably wouldn't be seeing this.
You might not be seeing it sitting here.
Right. The water, because the water then would be running behind here and between that and your paper, not getting inside.
Yep. We got the same thing there. Paper's behind the top
Yeah.
flange. Yep.
The end of this one and over that one.
They got it exactly backward.
All not to do exactly how to do it.
All right. Well, let's not take any more there. We kind of know what we got. I'd be curious to go down this. We can take this one off pretty easy. And this one I got a joint here, Dave, and then the next joint is all the way at the end. So we can take that one, and then that would give us an idea what the size of that looks like.
Okay.
All right. So, for the hell of it, I'll open this up here a little bit. Just see what we got here for the Vicor. This paper is really brittle. Cooked. Maybe get your knife. Yeah, come on. Yep, same elevation. 6-inch Vicor.
I wonder if they turned it in on the stool or not. I wonder if they turned it in onto the stool before they slapped the windows in place. Vicor.
Yeah, you never that was sort of the because you back them out 3/8 and they're done. So
And these start spinning.
Just into the sheet.
good thing we're not in my own
Dense
grade.
glass.
Florida. That wouldn't have matched their spin.
What's that?
Just into the dense glass there.
Yeah. You got one right there.
got
Dave?
one right there. Let me see.
Just give me that here.
You've got a half lap joint right there where this piece goes down, travels
Okay.
around.
So that is a joint.
You tap them, tap
Hold
them.
on, hold on.
The problem is.
Oh,
I
he's
didn't
got
see
his
these.
down underneath.
Yep.
It's, how do you put this in? Put this in. It's gonna be in,
1/2 inch flat.
Yep. Here we go. Hang on a minute. We're going. Are you guys on? All right. Hang on. Let us go down and see if we can get out free from this end. Can you go down enough without breaking that thing?
Probably not. He's gonna get down on his end. But once we know we can get it out by.
The problem is they probably
It's probably gonna be
might not get it out.
zoomed out by this. I'm getting it.
You gotta. You're under the vent. It's got to come all the way up. The little bit of clapboard's got to go up and then get out.
Yeah, but it's locked by the flange.
Okay. I see. Yeah, the flange is locking you in. Okay.
Yeah.
But it went in, so it's gotta come out.
Well, they probably drove out of in and it popped in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We can't just pop out.
If I can give it a little tappage, maybe that'll encourage it.
Yeah, you're hitting the clapboard below you there now.
Yeah.
How much I got left? You just want to go out by?
About a quarter.
Hey, David, hang on a minute. Dave,
Yep.
right there. Push in right there. Right there. Right there. Just hold that in.
Okay.
Hey, Jeff, I'm going to belly this thing. Hold it in. Do it.
A little more.
Get rid of that problem. Now you get your end free.
Yeah. Get that zip saw down there.
Yeah. Hold it toward the J channel. Go further. Go way up high as you can. So, and then push down on your bar. That's how it's going to pop it out. You got to roll the top of the clapboard out. Now get it back in. You got to get it way up high at the top of the 2-inch part of the clapboard and pry it out. You're hooked at the corner of the vent. You right where your left hand is. You got to put your bar there, under the clapboard, all the way up, high as you can.
That's what I'm saying. We'll go.
There we go. All right. Well, that's your spot it right there. Yeah, we can yank it out of there too.
Well, the one beneath it has screws that are exposed. If I could do that, then I can get this one out, and this should pop right out, right?
No, the other one below it is very long.
Break it, that.
This way, right in here between the J channel and
Okay.
okay.
I'll take you all right. You gotta wiggle it.
Ready to go.
There you go.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Good luck getting it back in.
See, that one ain't going back in.
No.
Okay, over on the roof. Back of it. No staining. Speak up. Sup. That's a good thing. Okay. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
You look right here. Start getting right here. See how it turns back to brownish right here?
yep.
That's right out of sight. But also look at these. Look at all these. You see all the stain lines on the paper. Right out of sight. Because then again, that piece wasn't caulked up underneath there either, was it, Dave? The water just get here, blow it up in underneath there.
Yep. Well, you have water going in here, it's on the face of, it's down behind the paper and everywhere, it's just gonna soak the whole damn wall.
I'd say you gotta get a hold of the company, tell them you want a warranty job now.
I'm not sure there's any point in going any further.
I don't think so.
I think, given the fact that this seems dry up here, I think we're not leaking up high, although it was improperly put in up there. I think your leaking is right in this area. It's going right in here, and then it's on the wrong side of the paper.
Right, running down behind.
And then it goes in here and it mucks this all up. That's why we're getting rusting here. And that's why they're getting rusting there. Where the back of these fibers are all wet. And then somewhere it's finding its way into the windows. And I wouldn't be surprised if these vents are the culprit for getting it inside the house or building. Because it gets in here, it's on top of this frame. And then from this frame, it can fall off inside the stud bay. If it's all right here, and it never goes inside the paper, but it's just at the paper, between the paper and the thin shield, it's not going to have an easy time getting into the stud bay. But if it gets here, behind this paper, it lands on top of this frame, and it can puddle there, and it can go off that side, go off that side, and it's inside the studs. And there was definite tracks of water right above this window. So.
And the water inside is showing up all on the first floor above the windows?
Yeah, there was no real sign of water here.
Inside of the
Right. But there's sign, and in here, they said it leaks, but also, you can see on top of the extension jams, right in this area, there's brown spots. It'd be interesting to look at every single window and see if all the brown spots and leaking are directly below the vent. I think this is the source of the water, right here, this thing. One, and then it gets in behind this one line. Then the paper is compromised, so it allows it to get inside the paper. If I have water inside the paper here, on top of the den shield, where's it going to go? It's going to go down, and it's going to hit. It will get down, and it could then get on top of that window frame. And once it's on top of that window frame, then it can go wherever it wants to go. Then it can go in and get into the stud bay. If we had no windows here, it was just poorly done paper, it would stay behind the paper on the face of the yellow all the way to ground. But I think where you interrupt it with a vent and a window, that's when it stops. It has a horizontal surface of the top of the window of the jam, and it can walk in. Now it's in the stud bay, and it can do whatever it wants. Any other theories? No?
Not at this point. You gonna put it back together?
No, I'm gonna burn it down. Let's rack.
Yeah, but I think you got, it could, from the top, follow that all the way down around, get in behind, and get in right behind there, too.
Right.
You know, it could blow in beside there.
These ones were really well caulked. So they weren't, I don't believe they could get in here at all. They were tighter than hell, right there.
And that was just...
But they could have blown in right here.
And that was just these in between, there's no, was there a J channel in that too?
In here, no J channel.
Okay.
But it was well caulked. There's no obvious breaches in that caulking.
I mean, this here, there's no caulking.
Over there.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we cut it. Did you cut the caulking on that side one?
Yep.
Yeah. So we had to cut this as like this is like
What?
quarter-inch thick noodle.
But there were places where the caulk had pulled away from the vinyl.
Okay. It wasn't tight.
No.
Okay. So that's another place it could have leaked, yes. If it was to get in up there, blow under the stones, and get on top of the dent shield up there, then it could get into the stud bay. And if it was in the stud bay, you'd think you'd see leakage signs up here. if it was getting in way up there. And if it was getting into the stud bays up there, and then falling and coming down in the stud bay that's here, it's inside. This paper might not even be wet. It'd be inside. And I suppose then it could get on down. But we don't see the sign of, it's not where it's leaking.
Also, up above there, if there's water on top of those windows, it can't fall that mullion down.
Yes, it could, right where there wasn't any caulk there. Yeah. And if it followed it down, then it's right here, and it's on top of this one by, it's in back, and down it is. But the worst wetness, staining of the clapboards was like here, and like right by your knee, which is away from this. You'd think you'd have wicked staining on the clapboard right here if that was leaking.
Yeah, but even these weep holes in the bottom of this thing, that water could just follow that back, get over the top of this board, and gets in behind there, and then falls down with that board pushed against it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, a good way to, you know, if you went to a 3/4 piece of wood,
Drove it up in there.
and get it up in underneath there, and then caulked it, then you'd have something to caulk it with.
Yep. So what would you use? Maybe some of that vinyl wood? Something you didn't have to paint?
Everything else is.
I mean, this
Oh,
is
you
like,
mean like a AZEK